Good morning, 6th graders. We're going to continue our reading. We're on page 217. We're going to read to page 222. Like I've been saying the last couple of videos, it's going to be longer than last week, so feel free to take a break. We are going to answer these questions. Oh, I'm not sure if I can get to it, though. Yeah, I can. Okay. We're going to answer question 2. Although Anne is attracted to Peter, what does she not? She does not want to do what? Number 3, what advice did Anne's father give her about Peter? And number 4, what is Mr. Dussel's apology? Or I'm sorry, why is Mr. Dussel's apology being questioned? This one's not quite, it is there, but we're going to speculate a little bit on that one. Okay, let's get back to the actual reading. Let me get this back to where it needs to be. All right, Friday, April 28th.
Friday, 28 April 1944. Dear Kitty, I have never forgotten my dream about Peter Vessel. See beginning of January. If I think of it, I can still feel his cheek against mine now, and recall that lovely feeling that made everything good. Sometimes I've had the same feeling here with Peter, but never to such an extent. Until yesterday, when we were as usual sitting on the divan, our arms around each other's waists. Then suddenly the ordinary Anna slipped away, and a second Anna took her place. A second Anna who was not reckless and jocular, but one who just wants to love and be gentle. I sat pressed closely against him, and felt a wave of emotion come over me. Tears sprang into my eyes. The left one trickled onto his dungarees. The right one ran down my nose and also fell onto his dungarees. Did he notice? He made no move or sign to show that he did. I wonder if he feels the same as I do. He hardly said a word. Does he know that he has 2 Annas before him? These questions must remain unanswered.
So let me pause there for a second. This is a theme later in the story where she feels that there's 2 Annas. One that doesn't like to get her feathers ruffled. She'll say what's on her mind. She'll fight back with Mrs. Von Don or Mr. Dussel. But then there's this softer, more docile Anne, a little bit more like Margot when she's with Peter. In case you're not sure what the word dungarees are, that's what they used to call jeans. So he's just wearing a pair of jeans. Okay, let's continue.
At 8:30, I stood up and went to the window where we always say goodbye. I was still trembling. I was still Anna number 2. He came towards me. I flung my arms around his neck and gave him a kiss on his left cheek, and was about to kiss the other cheek when my lips met his and we pressed them together. In a whirl we were clasped in each other's arms, again and again, never to leave off. Oh, Peter does so need tenderness. For the first time in his life he has discovered a girl, has seen for the first time that even the most irritating girls have another side to them, that they have hearts and can be different when you are alone with them. For the first time in his life he has given of himself, and having never had a boy or girlfriend in his life before, shown his real self. Now we have found each other. For that matter, I didn't know him either, like him, having never had a trusted friend. And this is what it has come to. Once more there is a question which gives me no peace. Is it right? Is it right that I should have yielded so soon, that I am so ardent, just as ardent and eager as Peter himself? May I, a girl, let myself go to this extent? There is but one answer. I have longed so much and for so long. I am so lonely, and now I have found consolation.
So let's pause right there for a second. She has similarities between Peter and herself. Remember, the whole reason that she's writing this diary is because she never felt that she had that one true friend in which she could confide. And she feels Peter, maybe with their conversations, has felt the same way. He never had a friend that was a boy or a friend that was a girl that he could show his real self to. So there's a kinship between them. But she's still not quite so sure if this is the right move for her.
In the mornings we just behave in an ordinary way, in the afternoons more or less so, except just occasionally. But in the evenings, the suppressed longings of the whole day, the happiness and the blissful memories of all the previous occasions come to the surface, and we only think of each other. Every evening after the last kiss, I would like to dash away, not to look into his eyes any more, away, alone in the darkness. And what do I have to face when I reach the bottom of the staircase? Bright lights, questions, and laughter. I have to swallow it all and not show a thing. My heart still feels too much. I can't get over a shock such as I received yesterday all at once. The Anna who is gentle shows herself too little anyway, and therefore will not allow herself to be suddenly driven into the background. Peter has touched my emotions more deeply than anyone has ever done before, except in my dreams. Peter has taken possession of me, and turned me inside out. Surely it goes without saying that anyone will require a rest and a little while to recover from such an upheaval. Oh, Peter, what have you done to me? What do you want of me? Where will this lead us? Oh, now I understand Ellie. Now that I am going through this myself, now I understand her doubt. If I were older, and he should ask me to marry him, what should I answer? Anna, be honest. You would not be able to marry him, but yet it would be hard to let him go. Peter hasn't enough character yet, not enough willpower, too little courage and strength. He is still a child in his heart of hearts. He is no older than I am. He is only searching for tranquility and happiness. Am I only 14? Am I really still a silly little schoolgirl? Am I really so inexperienced about everything? I have more experiences than most. I have been through things that hardly anyone of my age has undergone. I am afraid of myself. I am afraid that in my longing I am giving myself too quickly. How, later on, can it ever go right with other boys? Oh, it is so difficult, always battling with one's heart and reason. In its own time each will speak, but do I know for certain that I have chosen the right time? Yours, Anna.
All right, so let's pause right there. All right, so we're on page 219. Sorry, I had a visitor come into my room. Let's see. So here's the answer to number 2. She does care for him, but what is she not going to do? She's not going to marry him. He's not, doesn't have enough character yet, not enough willpower. She feels that he's really no older than she is. They're similar in age, but we know that he was a little bit maybe behind socially and academically when they first met, so she adores him. He gives her those, special boyfriend-girlfriend feelings, but she wouldn't marry him, and she knows that. And I kind of agree with her down here where she feels older than 14. She's not, that kind of sounds like a small number in her head, but imagine what they've gone through, the fear, the persecution, the loneliness, just everything that she's gone through that most people her age haven't undergone. Similar to you guys, your parents have not had to have sheltered at home for the last 3 months of school. There are teenagers that aren't going to get to graduate high school. We may miss our traditional graduation. We'll have something special, but you guys are going through something that I am a teacher on this end, but I'm not a student not going through this. So you guys are experiencing things that I've never experienced. So that's kind of what she's going through. Okay, let's continue.
Tuesday, 2 May 1944. Dear Kitty, on Saturday evening, I asked Peter whether he thought that I ought to tell Daddy a bit about us. When we'd discussed it a little, he came to the conclusion that I should. I was glad, for it shows that he's an honest boy. As soon as I got downstairs, I went off with Daddy to get some water, and while we were on the stairs, I said, "Daddy, I expect you've gathered that when we're together, Peter and I don't sit miles apart. Do you think it's wrong?" Daddy didn't reply immediately, then said, "No, I don't think it's wrong, but you must be careful, Anna. You're in such a confined space here. When we went upstairs, he said something else on the same lines. On Sunday morning he called me to him and said, "Anna, I have thought more about what you said." I felt scared already. "It's not really very right, here in this house. I thought that you were just pals. Is Peter in love?" "Oh, of course not," I replied. "You know that I understand both of you.